The Avengers movies are very colorful movies, and you know what? Their logos are no exception. But are the color of their logos trying to tell us something, trying to give us some hints of what we can expect in the future? I think there may be a possibility, and I'm going to tell you why. Let's get started. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Hey everybody, Andrew Fantasia here, welcoming you to another little episode of Thumb Together, where today I want to talk about the Avengers movies, but in particular, the Avengers logos for the Avengers movies. I want to make the thesis of this episode a question, and that question being, do the logos of the movies, particularly the logo for Avengers Endgame, give us any kind of hint about what we can expect? It's always cool when a movie is coming out and you're hearing about all the buzz and everything, and the studio reveals the logo for the first time. Disney in particular is really good with this. Disney's logos are just beautiful. They have this like gorgeous symmetry to them, and they're always bright and they pop. And that doesn't just count for in-house stuff. I'm talking, like, when I say Disney, I mean in-house, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, anything under their umbrella. The logos are always a big deal, and they do a great job of revealing them. With the MCU movies, their logos have all been very interesting, very colorful. Every hero kind of has their own specific logo. The Iron Man one has always been one of my favorites. The Iron Man logo is very metallic, and every iteration of the Iron Man trilogy, that logo has been a different color. It said the same thing. It's just in part 1 it was gold, in part 2 it was like this brownish bronze color, and in part 3 it was red. So you've got all the colors of Iron Man kind of lumped together in these 3 logos. But the Avengers logos in particular are what I want to talk about, because they have been very indicative of the tone of the movie itself, of the color scheme of the movie itself. And I like when that happens. So far, we have, as of right now, the Avengers Trilogy. Okay, we got Avengers, we got Age of Ultron, and we got Infinity War. Now take a look at these 3 posters and the color schemes going on throughout all these movies. There have been blatant, very obvious color schemes for every Avengers movie. The first movie, you see blue and white. Everywhere you look is blue and white. Age of Ultron, you have silver and red. And in Infinity War, you have gold and purple, but there's also a splash of rainbow in there too. Why are these colors specifically here? Why these colors? Well, it's because they encapsulate the color scheme of the entire movie. Look back at part 1, blue and white. Those are the colors you see there. And that first Avengers movie is full of blue and white. The main reason being, we spend most of the time in Avengers 1 on board the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier, or at least in the presence of S.H.I.E.L.D. And S.H.I.E.L.D. likes to decorate with blue and white. That's sort of their thing. Everything is this deep royal blue. There's a lot of white and black thrown in there. But S.H.I.E.L.D. just has that color scheme running all throughout everything they build. And because S.H.I.E.L.D. is basically the glue that brought the Avengers together, it makes sense that the color scheme of the movie should match. Next up, you've got Avengers Age of Ultron. And in here, we have silver and red. Now, this one should be fairly obvious, because when you look at Ultron, look at this guy. What 2 colors is he? He is silver and red. And the whole point of the movie, the whole sort of problem that the Avengers are facing, is that Ultron keeps multiplying himself and spreading out to the point where the world is in danger of being engulfed by Ultron. There is a very good chance that if Ultron wins, every electronic thing ever is going to be him. So the fact that the logo is the same color as Ultron is indicative of that. It's almost like Ultron himself is swallowing the logo, because that's what he does. He takes over everything. Beautiful example of how a logo can tell the story of the movie strictly with color. Now look at Infinity War. Gold and purple with a splash of rainbow. Definitely beautiful posters to look at, beautiful logos to look at, but why gold and purple? That's a weird combo. Well, that one's kind of on the nose too. Look no further than Thanos, my friends. Thanos is a big purple hunk of man, and he wears gold armor. Purple and gold are kind of the Thanos color scheme. And it has been argued, and even stated at some point by the Russo brothers, that the main character of Infinity War pretty much is Thanos. That's his movie. So it makes perfect sense for the logo to look like him. in the same way that the Iron Man logo kind of looks like Iron Man. It all adds up. The splash of rainbow is a really nice touch because the movie is about collecting the Infinity Stones. And the Infinity Stones are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. That's a lovely dash of rainbow spectrum if I've ever seen it. So those 6 colors are scattered throughout all of the Infinity War posters and logos. It makes for a very eye-popping, beautiful mosaic when you look at the whole thing from afar. These teaser posters are really interesting. I actually love these a lot. I love the idea of a movie series having the exact same image on their teaser poster, just with slight variations in color or tone or what have you. This is brilliant. I wish more movie series did this. Now, looking at these teaser posters, there's even less information conveyed in the teaser poster. That's the point. You know, the main big blockbuster poster where you have every character on it. Yeah, those are gorgeous. They're always gorgeous, and they always show you a dazzling array of everything you could possibly imagine. But the teaser posters have to be a lot more subtle. But look at how brilliantly they still get that same point across with just that logo. Again, part 1, you've got the term there, assemble. Everybody knows the saying, Avengers Assemble. It's blue and white again because those are the colors of S.H.I.E.L.D. S.H.I.E.L.D. was a big deal in the MCU back then. Everybody was talking about S.H.I.E.L.D. this, S.H.I.E.L.D. that. This gives you a taste of what you can expect. S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to assemble the Avengers. Very straightforward, simple, beautiful. Age of Ultron, it says assemble again, but now you can clearly see something is off, something is different. That A does not look like a healthy A. That is an A that has been taken over by weird red and silver robotic shit, and that's not good. Again, going back to what I said about the theatrical poster, this logo looks like it has been consumed by Ultron himself, and that's the whole point. Ultron consumes everything, makes everything into his own image. That's scary. And even though this A is just colored differently, the way that the red runs through the silver and just the bulkiness of it, it looks very unnatural and even unnerving. When you look at this A, it's not pleasant and smooth. It's off. And it gives you a little bit of cause for concern. That's exactly what they would want you to do, because guess what? Ultron is unnerving. Ultron is unnatural, and he is going to mess shit up, and what he's going to do is not going to be good for us. So the fact that just that logo makes us go, ugh, something's off here, they're doing their job. They're telling the story. They're telling us this is what Ultron is going to do to the rest of the world. I can't get over how cool that is. Finally, Infinity War. Again, you have the A in the exact same spot. Now it doesn't say assemble, though, does it? Now it just says Infinity, which tells you, A, there's something special about this one. This is a different Avengers movie. This isn't like what we've gotten before. You've got the deep purple in there, which is a foreshadowing of Thanos. We know Thanos is coming, and he's purple. That's 2 things we know about him. He's coming, and he's purple. So that right there tells us what to expect. Then you'll notice the very subtle sunburst on the left side of the A with, what's that over there? Rainbow light hitting and bouncing off of it. They use the source of light to illuminate the A as a way to throw the rainbow out there and get us excited for the Infinity Stones. But right there, you've got purple and you've got rainbow. That's everything you need to know about Infinity War in one single logo. Now that brings us to Endgame. So let's talk about this. With the reveal of the teaser and the title, we also got a bunch of Endgame posters and logos and whatnot. So this right here, let's add this. This is the same poster as the ones we've just been looking at, just for the next one. That's the 4th Avengers movie. Here we go. And as you'll see right away, it says Endgame in the middle, just like how the last one said Infinity. So that right there clues you in that, A, this is another special one. This isn't just another Avengers movie. And also it gives it that sort of tie-in with Infinity War, because they really do tie together. Same thing with the A. The A is still purple. It's still that Thanos A. But what's happening here, the A is dissolving. It's fading away into nothingness. A beautiful reference to what happened at the end of Infinity War. And notice what we have here. For the first time, we don't have blackness behind the A anymore. Now all of a sudden we have light. Why is that? Well, for technical reasons, they got to showcase the dissolving, and you can't really do that too well if there's just blackness behind it, so they throw some light. But I like to think that it's also symbolic of hope. For the first time, we're getting some light, we're getting some hope. Something good is going to come out of this. And I think that theory is only strengthened by the fact that that light is not just there, it's pushing its way into existence. It's pushing its way through a thick cluster of dark gray clouds. That sounds like hope to me. I think of those parts in the trailer now of Captain America and Black Widow talking to each other and saying, this is going to work. It has to work. That's that light. That's what's happening here, baby. It's coming, and it's breaking free of the darkness that's been taken over the story, and it is going to end on a positive note. It's going to end on a note that instills hope. So that's what I am feeling here. You've got the reference to Infinity War thrown in there. You've got the reference to Thanos, but you've also got hope emerging from the darkness. Isn't that beautiful? Now, looking at the full title logos themselves away from the posters, they're still very telling. They still carry their color schemes. The first one's got the white and blue. Second one's got the silver and red. Third one's got the gold, not the purple, but it's got the gold. So let's go ahead and add the Avengers Endgame title logo to this. Now, this is the title logo that popped up at the end of that teaser trailer. And that was the first thing I noticed when I was watching this trailer, because I'm weird like this, is that it's all purple. It is like completely purple. There's no gold to be seen here at all. But again, we have that theme of light breaking through from behind the darkness. Yes, everything is purple, which thematically means everything is Thanos. But look what's happening behind all of that Thanos. You've got light breaking through. You've got hope breaking through. And so for a while, I figured, okay, instead of the gold and purple with the rainbow, Avengers Endgame is all going to be purple. And I was like, all right, I can deal with that. But just recently, I believe just this morning, on the official Facebook page for Avengers Endgame, they actually changed it and gave us the new official logo that looks quite a bit different. So let's pull that up. Here it is. So here is the official Avengers Endgame logo. And what do we notice here? Well, first of all, it's a lot cleaner. It looks a lot more streamlined like the other ones do. Like, you can just see them slapping this right on the poster, right on the DVD, like it's all ready to go. But what's interesting is this time they've gone full Thanos with it, where it is all purple outlined in gold, just like how Thanos would look if he was wearing his armor. If this is telling me anything, I'm going to put Vegas odds down and say that this is what this logo is trying to say. With Infinity War, it was covered in gold because Thanos was always wearing the Infinity Gauntlet. And the gauntlet is very, very gold. Now he's not wearing that gauntlet anymore, as far as we know. Now it's just Thanos. Just pure, raw Thanos. And we don't know what that's like yet. Now that Thanos is under the impression that he has won, what's he going to be doing from what we've seen, just walking around in a field and touching his space wheat? Everything was about the gauntlet in part 3. Everything was about getting the gauntlet or using the gauntlet. That's all anybody wanted to do. Now that the gauntlet is, again, I'm assuming out of the picture, now it's just about the man. Now we're just taking a look at the guy using the gauntlet, at that purple man underneath all of that gold. It's almost like they took the Infinity War logo, sliced off the top like a birthday cake and removed it, and we have the man inside now. With Endgame, we have that purple dude under all that armor, and I think this means we're really going to get under his skin and learn even more about him in ways we'd never imagined we would. The movie will draw focus away from the gauntlet itself and away from the stones, and more on the man himself, more on Thanos, more on what he's really like under the surface. We might possibly even get a more sympathetic Thanos than we've had in the last movie. And it's also going to be a film that is going to really drive home the idea of hope, pushing through the darkness and winning the day. But that's what I'm taking away from all of these sexy, delicious gold and purple and light-filled logos. And this is nothing new. Like I said, not a lot of movies do this, and I wish they did, but this is something that I've been doing for a while with films. Like, take a look at this. This is the Dark Knight Trilogy logo. And every Dark Knight movie had a teaser poster with the bat symbol, just like this, just like how Avengers did with the A's. And every Dark Knight movie also had its own color scheme. The first one was sepia tone there. The second one was like a deep indigo blue with little sparks of fire. And the third one was almost black and white. It was very crisp and contrasting. And as you see here, they really sort of symbolize what the movie is about. The first one with the sepia tone is almost Halloween-y in its essence, and it's got all the bats there, like physical bats. The first film was about fear. So there you go. It sums that up perfectly. The second film, being about the Joker, being about his anarchist point of view, was about chaos. And what better symbol of chaos than a towering skyscraper that's symbolic of order and like the American dream and what have you, and it's on fire. I mean, there you go. That's chaos if I've ever seen it. And then you got Pain for Dark Knight Rises, and you see sort of a world crumbling to pieces, and that is really what happens to Batman in that movie. His world crumbles and it's never the same again. Whoever designs posters like these or posters like the Avengers, they know their shit. This is beautiful art. This is storytelling without a single word, and it's absolutely magnificent. But those are my thoughts on what the Avengers Endgame logos are possibly trying to tell us. I don't know. Am I crazy? Maybe. Am I devilishly handsome? Maybe. Let me know. What do you think? I love hearing different people's interpretations of logos and art and things like that, because it really makes you think, and it tells you a lot about the person too. So chime in the comments, and if you can think of other movies that have done this sort of logo thing, let me know. I want to see more of this logo business in action. Finally, before we sign off, I have one really cool announcement to show all of you. This right here is my book. I wrote this. This is called Side Scroller. It is a sci-fi romance that takes place in a world that runs entirely on video game logic. I wrote Side Scroller 6 years ago, and I self-published it. These past couple months, I've been in the self-publishing process, and it is finally out and ready. You can purchase it only on Amazon. That's right. Go to Amazon.com or Amazon.uk or wherever you live. Just go on your local Amazon, look up either Side Scroller or my name, Andrew Fantasia, and you can get a copy for your very own. This is the paperback. It's nice and thick and juicy, but it also comes in ebook variety. If you like sitting with your Kindle or your Kobo or whatever you have and just reading ebooks, I got you covered as well. So if you like action and adventure and sci-fi and romance and all that fun stuff, and you happen to be a big fan of video games, you are going to love Side Scroller. So pick up a copy now. You'll be doing me a favor. You'll be doing you a favor, because I promise you'll enjoy this book. But yeah, that's Side Scroller. That's my baby. So thank you very much for tuning in and listening to me talk about logos and books for God knows how long this video has been. I'm Andrew Fantasia. I will see you here next time, and until then, adios.